year next year, and I think something that you guys love.
And we learned a ton from doing it once, right? So like, some definitely don't do against, right? And then some like, ooh, let's do that times 10. So we're gonna move all that to March next year. You'll have 3 opportunities to do your generic sign up for a teacher to go meet with them, conferences, and then we're gonna try to cram all the student-led conferences into March. That'll be nice because they'll be almost 3/4 of the way through. It'll be like a reset for kids that need it. It'll be a celebration for the kids that need that. And it can go a bunch of different ways, but it was, you know, in terms of parent feedback, I think it was up at like 96% positive. Kids a little bit less so, right? That's part of the fun. And then, you know, I think next year, you know, having done it once, it won't be as stressful for the kids that found it stressful, right? Because they've already practiced and reached it once. And now they'll be, you know, we certainly learned a lot on how to teach them to do it and all that good stuff. So I think next year will be much improved.
So how do we communicate and how will you know what's going on, right? For students individually, the best place to go is obviously to their teachers or Google Classroom, right? There'll be emails that come, there'll be Infinite Campus stuff that might come out, but Google Classroom is really the place. So if you know how to sign up, as there are parents or sort of guardian sections of that, where you can sign up for a daily summary email, you can sign up for a weekly summary email. I strongly recommend doing that. If you don't know how, we'll send out some resources on that and you can take a look. Great ways to just stay on top of where things are for learning, missing assignments, is there a big project coming up? For my kids, sign up for the weekly digest, and I think that's a really great way to go. It's not every day, so it's not too much. But each week I kind of get a heads up of what's going on, and I've really appreciated that.
We're gonna talk about the right side.
Yeah, I think we've kind of gone over that stuff. I mean, the key here is lots of opportunities. We want to communicate with you. You'll hear from us maybe too much, but definitely reach out to us if you ever have concerns or need anything from us. Our transition process. It's growing every year. So new to this year is Student Advisory Committee coming down to field to model what advisory is like, just get to know the kids and just sort of establish that mentorship early on of, we've really appreciated our time at the middle school. It might have been hard for XYZ reasons. And here's where we are now, feeling confident about going into high school. 5th grade visits with WMS transition team to make connections. So we're gonna have sources of strength go down there and do a Q&A session where the students have already submitted questions. Students from our school are gonna go down there, mostly 7th graders, right? Yep. And go down there and answer specific questions that students have about coming up. Again, they'll listen to them much more than they listen to us. We'll just keep repeating ourselves till they get it eventually, though, if we have to say it, it's fine. School will be open in late summer for student visits. We're gonna have an ice cream truck again?
Hope so.
I hope we're gonna have an ice cream. I've said it out loud now, so we should probably have an ice cream truck. Previous class has got an ice cream truck, so just put that out there. So first days of school focus on transition to school and learning how to be a 6th grader. Again, we go slow so that we can go fast, right? They're not gonna be heavy content weeks the first couple weeks here. It's really gonna be explicitly teaching the skills that we really wanna see, all right? I think we're good there.
We got to the
Talk about some
Chromebook.
computer.
We got to the Chromebook.
$5.
There it is, right? So we are on day 1, I think usually day 1. We introduced them to their Chromebook. We go over like the expectations around electronics. We have some serious rules. In terms of cell phones, I'll mention that's not on the slides. We do not allow cell phones here. They're supposed to turn it off when they walk in. Some kids do, most do, right? If we see it out, it becomes ours for the day, right? I have a whole policy that I can go through and I will send that out to you for sure. It's really hard. Like, I love fantasy baseball. We are full in. I got a couple alerts on my watch just sitting there, right? And I know I shouldn't be looking at my fantasy baseball while I'm presenting to a group of parents who are going to be new parents for me next year, right? Students don't have to do that yet, right? It's like so tempting to be checking the cell phone. We take that off the deck for them. All right, they're not allowed to have it. All right, so we really need your support in that, because at school it's off. It's 8:45 to 3:15. They will in fact survive, despite the lack of TikTok and the lack of Instagram. Right, they will survive. So that is something that we do have. Students are taught to use these. We're a G Suite school, Google Suite, right? Tons of different options, spreadsheets, docs, all the things, slideshows. Teachers are getting really good at letting students present to them their learning in a bunch of different ways. All right, we're gonna have a big focus on that as a district. So this is a wonderful tool. Man, I wish I had a Chromebook in middle school, right? My penmanship was terrible, all right? I lost my notebooks all the time. Wouldn't that be great to keep it all in Google Drive, right? So kids are really set up for success here. We teach them how to use it. We actually learned a ton, again, from student-led conferences on, we thought they knew how to do some stuff they didn't know how to do, because we were like still dealing with COVID kids, right? Who knew how to do a lot of weird tech things that we didn't even think they could even think of before, and they were so good at it. And then we picked up some kids this year and we were like, oh, you do not know how to do that. Okay, right? Let's teach that skill. And again, advisory is a place where we can kind of sneak in those little skills that aren't necessarily in a normal class. All right, but we do have this. We have a great tech team. Mistakes happen, right? There's an insurance thing, you know, kids drop things. I think it's like $25, right? Or something like that, semi-reasonable. The kids have been really good about taking care of it. They'll have a case that we give them, all that good stuff. All right, so that's a thing. I have to say, lunch is pretty great here. All right, we have a 25-minute block where if you look behind you, you can actually see the Gaga pit from here, right? The beacon of fun, right? So we have a 25-minute block with picnic tables outside also. That's one thing we really learned from COVID, is that kids really like eating outside, all right? And they often pick up after themselves. It's pretty good. So that's like a nice thing. So we have the cafeteria where many kids will be sitting, and then some kids grab a quick bite of pizza and literally throw it away. And then, you know, then they go play basketball for 24 minutes. Right? But it's a really nice time for those kids that need to get a little extra movement. We have that option where we can see them from inside. I'm usually out there on the play space with them. I've gotten a little old where I try not to participate too much, but a couple Gagas here and there. But it's a really nice spot. I have worked in a few different schools. This is the best food at a school I have ever had. I mean, wait till you hear the first couple weeks about like, they have pasta salad with this wonderful pizza. We have like a bunch of different menus. There's a salad bar, there's a sandwich bar. They've got options for the first time. I think it's kind of a little more rigid at Field School, right? And we've got several options every day, which is really great. So that's not an attack on you, Dr. Green. I just want you to. Yeah, I do get a customized breakfast sandwich every Friday, which is literally the highlight of my week. But it's really, really good food. That's Rose. She's an A+ human. And we will, again, I think next year be free again, which is great. So, and then additionally, we have the other options as well. So if you want to do the a la carte thing, but it's really, really, really nice. We're trying to be as green as we can. Like I know Field School is probably winning the green race, Dr. Green, but we're working on it, right? We started composting this year. We're doing some really nice efforts on like teaching the kids about little by little. It's actually their world. I'll be long gone by the time, they'll be around longer than me for sure. I have a reusable bottle that I leave all over the building. It says my name on it. So I have kids return it to me on a regular basis, but that's kind of our expectation. We do sell polar soda, like the seltzers. Let's just try to make an effort to bring the reusable bottles and buy a 3-pack because they're going to lose at least 2, right? So just please make an effort on that. General supplies, it's going to be on the website. It's pretty straightforward. A couple binders, a bunch of pencils and pens, a calculator, a ruler, the basics. We're not trying to throw any crazy curveballs at you. It's pretty straightforward and good stuff. This is like what it looks like on day one. I'd say like 3 kids still look like that, right? Just a few kids that have like the fancy, thing that holds the notebooks on top. It's funny, lockers are like a thing, right? Some kids, they do it like, oh, I got this, no problem. Some kids, I will be honest, we do have some students that are like, how do I do the locker thing again? And we're working on it, right? But it's a cool way to have them have some independence. They're supposed to not leave old cheese sandwiches in there, all that good stuff. It is a skill that we teach them here, it's ridiculous, the things I have found in lockers. But it's fun. The kids do a really good job with it. This is our school store, which is open every Friday. PTO parents come in and help run that. And there's usually some fun trinkets and fun like erasers and all that good stuff. Some t-shirts and pajama pants, silly stuff like that that kids really like. So I'm going to give a little personal side to this real quick, as I do think I'm running out of slides here. I currently have a 6th grader and a 5th grader. Okay, so I'm like in year 1 of middle school with my daughter, who is like, I want to brag for this stuff. 100 average, 100 average, 100 average, 99, 99, 98. Like, yeah, girl, right? What's up with the 98? No. She's like, got this. I like to read all day long. And she actually figured out how to talk to other humans. It's been great. We've had a really nice middle school experience. I have a 5th grader who I'm hoping can figure it out, right? I'm a little more concerned about his academic success, because his brain works a little bit like mine, right? But he is also a really smart kid, and I know he's gonna be taken care of, and it may not be 100, 99, 99, 98, but it's gonna be close, right? And I'm telling you that middle school is a wonderful time for them to figure it out. Grades don't. Close your ears, please, just for a second. Grades don't matter yet. They don't. Did you hear that? No, good, okay, good, right? We're teaching kids, it's okay. It's okay to have something not be a straight A and get that feedback that, well, what could I have done differently? All right, report card. He had one ear, right? We of course want kids to find success, right? We want them to work really hard. We want them to improve, and it's okay to take a little dip, because what's that gonna do? It's gonna teach us that maybe things are getting harder, maybe I need to ramp my game up, right? Or I just haven't been putting in the time, right? I need to start studying for tests. These tests are harder than I've ever had before. That's gonna happen, right? It gets harder every year academically. That's the plan, right? We want them to be ready for Weston High School, which keeps getting on fancy lists for best thing in the world, right? So in order to do that, we're gonna push your kids and we're gonna give some feedback that's not always super positive, and that's okay, right? We're gonna do it in a thoughtful, kind way, all right? But we're gonna push your kids to improve, okay? So all of these things do end up like, again, my daughter, F- in advocating for help. Probably an F- in trusting her instincts, right? Really great at everything else. My son will probably be the opposite, right? He might struggle with time, I definitely struggle with time management, right? And I know he's gonna ask for help because he's been taught to do that. He's been, so I think every kid is gonna have a different thing that they're gonna work on that list. And these are all life skills, right? Do I use every single one of these myself every day? Sure do, right? So we talk to kids about that. All right, there's Mr. McCollum, there's Mr. K, and there's me, all right, in Paris with him, all right? But, we end up having.
was there too.
Huh?
I was there too.
Well, you're the one that forgot that I was there. Okay, I know Messiah was there. Just some really cool opportunities as you go through the school, right? 8th grade's getting ready to go to DC, right? That's a yearly trip that every 8th grader goes on, or most 8th graders go on. It's really awesome. Seeing a kid walk through DC for the first time like this, it's like one of the best things in the world, right? They have such a good time. It's a cool experience. They get to room with 3 of their friends. It smells terrible in there. It's awesome, right? So a lot of that fun stuff happening. I have been, in my 7 years here, I've been to the Galapagos, I have been to Paris, and I have been to Rome. They paid me to go. It's amazing. So like, just know that when these opportunities come up, we do a really good job, first of all, taking care of kids in those places, right? I got 24 kids on and off successfully the metro in Paris. One time, one kid didn't get on, and he found us, and it was great because we talked about it, right? Oh, Greg, but we really did a good job. Like they come back smiling and well experienced with some stuff. It was great. That it? Pretty much it. Yeah. I know I speak really fast because I didn't want to keep you here for 3.5 hours. We can talk about Weston Middle School for days, right? And talk about the amazing things that go on here. If I miss something, email me. I'll get back to you within a couple days. All right. It's also Cray Town tomorrow. We have a half day. We're ending the day with karaoke in the high school auditorium. I will be singing Miley Cyrus, Party of the USA in front of the whole school. It's going to be awesome. We have students performing as well. We do a lot of fun things here. It's really great. Okay. So I will get back to you maybe Thursday after I release my stress from singing in front of the entire school again. But we do a lot of fun stuff. Did I miss anything? So many words. I know it's so many words when I get up here, but I really genuinely love this place, and I hope that came through. I hope we'll do like 5 minutes of questions before 8 o'clock, and if not, I can certainly sit here for as long as I need to. Okay. Anything that would help the group? Yeah.
Just made a few notes of a few questions.
Yeah.
You mentioned phones, Apple Watch is the same rule or?
So it has to be in do not disturb mode. I know the difference between, okay, it's 7:56, right? And right, so like we